First, in HD, this is 13 Eyewitness News Tonight.
Defendant not guilty, not guilty, not guilty.
2 words repeated 3 times in the case of a mother accused of killing her toddler. Tonight, they are creating unmeasurable shock around the country. Good evening. I'm Eric Barajas.
And I'm Melanie Lawson. Dave and Gina are off tonight. The murder trial of Casey Anthony is one of the most high-profile murder cases in the country in years. It all began back in June of 2008 when 2-year-old Kaylee Anthony disappeared. Casey Anthony, then a 22-year-old single mother, waited 31 days to report that her baby was missing. And pictures from that first month show her partying at clubs and with a new tattoo that reads "Beautiful Life" in Italian. In September of that year, Casey was arrested and eventually charged with murder, child abuse, manslaughter, and lying to police. And 3 months later, Kaylee's body was found in a wooded area near the family's home. That trial that began in late May brought to light many sordid details of the Anthony family's private life. It also highlighted a major weakness in that case, that there was no official cause of death for little Kaylee Anthony. And in the end, it was what was said in court that cleared Casey. New tonight, Eyewitness News reporter Jessica Willey takes a closer look at what may have swayed the jury's decision. Jessica?
Yeah, and it's one that is being talked about with vigor tonight here in Houston and across the nation. People were transfixed by this trial, many baffled by the verdict.
As the crowd erupted outside the courthouse in Florida with fierce reaction, in Houston, this.
That girl got away with murder. Literally went, "Are you serious?" I did not think that was going to happen.
For many, it was a shocking verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
But for Richard Waits,
it was doomed from the beginning.
The only surprise is that the prosecution took this case to trial in this way at all.
There were huge gaping holes in the prosecutor's case.
Waits, both a lawyer and a psychologist, is a jury and trial consultant who has been paying close attention to the case against Casey Anthony.
We follow trials like this all the time.
The prosecution claimed Anthony suffocated 2-year-old Kaylee with duct tape because she wanted to be free to party. In fact, the month before the little girl was reported missing, she got a tattoo. Meantime, defense attorneys argued Kaylee drowned in the family's swimming pool and Anthony hid the body because of the traumatic effects of being sexually abused, allegedly by her father. It was an unbelievable story, but Waits says it wasn't the one that mattered.
I mean, the expert witnesses said, yes, we found hair follicles from Kaylee in the trunk, but even their own expert said that it doesn't necessarily show that there was a murder.
For more than a month, jurors listened to testimony and looked at 400 pieces of evidence. It took them just 11 hours to reach a verdict. Houston criminal defense attorney Steve Shellist says the defense was probably expecting the worst.
Normally in our world, when there's a quick verdict like that, given a 30-some day trial, most people would expect it would have been a guilty verdict.
Not even close. Proving in trial, even if you think you've been watching, only one thing is certain.
Juries are unpredictable, and we learn that if you're not there in the courtroom watching every single thing that goes on, you could be shocked.
And the jury of 7 women and 5 men would not talk to the media. Anthony, who was convicted of 4 counts of lying to investigators, will be sentenced by a judge on Thursday. She could get up to a year in jail on each count, and since she has already spent about 3 years behind bars, she could also walk free. Reporting live from near downtown, Jessica Willey, 13 Eyewitness News.
Well, the Casey Anthony trial also has a tie here to Houston. Judge Belvin Perry graduated from TSU's Thurgood Marshall School of Law in 1977. Before coming to TSU, Judge Berry, who is the chief judge for Florida's 9th Judicial Circuit, received his master's and bachelor's degrees at Tuskegee University.
The minute the words "not guilty" came out of the court clerk's mouth, the internet filled with emotional reactions, and many of you turned to our Facebook page to let the world know how you feel. Michelle Parker wrote, I was more shocked by the Anthony verdict than the O.J. verdict. This is a sad day in America. Debbie Sparks says the prosecution did not prove their case. Being callous and shallow and a liar aren't against the law. And Rose Leamer wrote, her day will come when she has to face a bigger judge, and I don't think he will have the same verdict. And we want you to join in on the conversation. Go to our Facebook page, click the like button, and tell us whether you think the jurors made the right decision. That's also where you can answer our poll question about the verdict. And our coverage continues on Nightline. Anchor Terry Moran will lead a 1-hour special from Orlando on this case, the verdict, and what happens next.